Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the pre-show. We're Carol and Tony Messerly, Many Strings and Company. We're going to kick it off tonight. I think we're going to start with the song Tony wrote. Kind of a romantic one.
Ain't no fences, ain't no ball of cattle, 'cause tonight, beneath them silver stars, just me, my horse, and the saddle, I'm looking for that green-eyed girl. She makes my heart swoon. I'm riding by the light of the moon. About an hour ago, the sun was burning low. Now the moon is taking me to town, and that's where I'm gonna go, 'cause there's a pretty girl just waiting there. I'm gonna be there too. I'm riding by the light of the moon. Yeah! There's an old jackrabbit dancing in the breeze, and the coyotes, they began to howl, and all the nightbirds start singing. I'm swaying in the saddle, just singing a cowboy tune. I'm riding by the light of the moon. All in snug-fitting blue jeans and that shirt of yellow calico, her hair tied back, lips just made for kissing. I'm winding down the canyon, I'm gonna be there soon. We'll go riding by the light of the moon. We'll go riding by the light of the moon. Thank you. We're going to do a song. This is what we had for dinner. A little song called Cockroach Stew that I wrote.
Tony wrote this song about, well, when the camp cook kind of runs out of food and has to get really resourceful to get everybody's bellies full. And like you said, it's called Cockroach Stew.
There's rats in the bunkhouse 2 by 2. What's an old camp cook to do?
I know.
Get a pistol and cut 'em in two. Make rat soup for the whole darn crew. Cowboys running for the bunkhouse door. Gonna shoot holes in the bunkhouse floor. Gonna get my pistol, cut 'em in two. Make rat soup for the whole darn crew. Woo! Cockroaches in the bunkhouse 2 by 2. What's an old camp cook to do? Scoop 'em up and we'll put 'em in a stew. It'll make a nice meal for the whole darn crew. Tater and squash, it'll taste real nice. Plug a brown mule just to add a little spice. It's got a good kick, it's easy to chew. Cockroach stew for the whole darn crew. Put it in a pan in the oven to bake. Nothing tastes better than a big bull steak. Well, it's rats and snakes. Cockroach stew, it'll make a nice meal for the buckaroo crew. Make a nice meal for the buckaroo crew. That'll ruin your appetite. Actually, we ate down at the Manhattan Cafe. Man, they got some good food down there.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this next song, as y'all know, Tony is, I think, 2013 Yodeler of the Year. So we're going to ask him to do a little yodeling. This song, I tease him, I tell him, this is your fantasy song. It's called Movie Star Cowboy.
I'm gonna be a movie star cowboy. I'm gonna ride on silver screen. Gonna live my life in a fancy saddle. Gonna make films like Roy and Jean. I'm gonna drive old city girls crazy. When I show my cowboy smile. And stars at a bronc ride, movie star gunsling, root to chew my style. You're gonna know I'm a movie star cowboy when you see me riding by. My rhinestone suit, 10-gallon hat, I ride with my head held way up high. Gonna drive old city girls crazy when I show my cowboy smile. And stars at a bronc ride, movie star gunsling, root to chew my style. So come on, boys, let's make some noise. There's a new sheriff in town, sitting tall and saddle. Now I'm riding on the prettiest pony around. Gonna drive old city girls crazy. Now show my cowboy smile. And stars at a bronc ride, movie star gunsling, root to cheat 'em up style. And stars at a bronc ride, movie star gunsling, root to cheat 'em up style. I did low dee dee low dee. You're the lady,
This is a new one for us. We didn't write this one. We found it, believe it or not, in an old Andrews Sisters recording.
recorded in the 40s.
In the 40s. It's called Strip Polka. I hope so. I hope so.
1, 2, and 3. There's a burlesque theater where the gang loves to go to see Queenie, the cutie of the burlesque show. And the thrill of the evening is when out Queenie skips and the band plays the polka while she strips. Take it off, cries a voice from the rear. Take it off, soon it's all you will hear. But she's always a lady, even in pantomime. So she stops, and always just in time. She's as fresh and wholesome as the flowers in May, and she hopes to retire to the farm someday. But you can't buy a farm until you're up in the chips, so the band plays the polka while she strips. Take it off, customers shout down in front, while the band beats it up. But she's always a lady, even in pantomime, so she stops, and always just in time. Queenie, queen of them all, Queenie, someday you'll fall. Someday church bells will chime in strip polka time. Oh, she hates corny waltzes and she hates the gavotte. And there's one big advantage: if the music music's hot. It's the fast moving exit just in case something rips. So the band plays the polka while she strips. Come around, take it in, she's the best in the West. Take it off, you can yell with the rest. Take her out when it's over, she's a peach when she's dressed. But she stops, and always just in time. Queenie, queen of them all. Queenie, someday you'll fall. Someday church bells will chime in strip all the time.
Do we just have time for one more?
You'll find me okay. All right, we got time for one more.
Well, we're going to finish off with a song I wrote. I wrote it because we're all getting older. And it just seems like as we get older, we have more and more pressure to have medical procedures that don't leave us with a lot of dignity. So I wrote this song, and it's called Colonoscopy. Colonoscopy don't sound that fun to me. It's part of my anatomy. I don't want no one to see. They clean you out real good, and they look where no one should. It ain't no way to spend your day. What the heck's a polyp anyway?
I don't know.
I up and went to see Miles and Lee. He says he's had a colonectomy. His life just ain't the way it used to be. He's lost a part of his identity. He used to spend a lot of time alone, contemplating life upon the throne. Now he's tethered to a bed, no doubt. We can guarantee it ain't takeout. Colonoscopy don't sound that fun to me. It's part of my anatomy. I don't want no one to see. They clean you out real good, and they look where no one should. It ain't no way to spend your day. What the heck's a polyp anyway?
You got me. Hey, Doc, can you write a note for my wife saying my head is not up there?
Life without a colon ain't for me. I don't want no colonectomy. I guess we better let him take a peek. Sometimes you gotta turn the other cheek. Colonoscopy don't sound that fun to me. It's part of my anatomy. I don't want no one to see. They clean you out real good, and they look where no one should. It ain't no way to spend your day. What the heck's a polyp anyway?
Hey, Doc, you know in Arkansas, me and you are considered legally married. Thank you so much, folks.
Part of their welcome. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How are you guys tonight? Good. Well, my name's Dutch Elmer, and if you were here last night, you already know me, but if you don't, my name's Dutch Elmer, and I'm from just outside of Evanston, Wyoming, and I'm a performing cowboy poet. I'm going to do a couple poems for you tonight. This first poem I'll do is a classic cowboy poem, and you know, it's about a young man, and he goes up to this college, and let me tell you, I don't think it works out too good. I went up to this college, and they asked me what I knowed to justify embarking on the education road. Well, I told them that my mom and pa had figured I was smart. for I could always pertner tell a horse and cow apart. The cow's the one that wears the horns, and the horse, he's the one you ride. And most of them most always wears the hairy part outside. They asked me what I knowed about the history of the earth. I told them that I understood it started in Fort Worth, where I first Texan found a market for his steers, and started raising buckaroos with red and hairy ears. They asked about my algebra, and I told them it was tough, the way most any cowboys gets who's riding long enough. They asked me what philosophy of life I favored most, and that one sure did snub me right up to the snubbing post. Well, I pondered some and then told them that I always do my best to aim my spitting eastwards when the wind is in the west. They asked about my grammar. I told them she was dead. They didn't mention Grandpa, but I told them what he'd said, that any man was foolish and surely bound to fail, who'd kick a hog barefooted or twist a panther's tail. I went up to this college, but I didn't stay there long. Heck, they asked a heap of questions, and my answers was all wrong. At least that's what they figured, like them college fellers do. But I brought back a professor just to spend a week or two, riding on the rancho with a hoss between his knees, where the wolves are wild and curly and the coyotes all got fleas. And about this here professor, wouldn't say no word unkind. Heck, he packs a heap of knowledge in that thing he calls a mind. But now my lack of learning don't seem no near we be gone. At least I know which end to put a horse's bridle on. Thank you. Well, this next one is one that I wrote, and it's just a little bit about me. I was born to be a cowboy, to rope and ride and rhyme, roping calves and riding bulls. This is how I spend my time. Now, I was raised with values, and that's something to be told. There's 10 principles to live by, and it's called the Cowboy Code. Being a cowboy ain't always easy. There's chores that need to be done. Working hard is just expected, but most chores are just dang fun. There's also time for playing with my family and my pards, sitting around the campfire or dealing me a hand of cards. I really like to saddle up for the quiet evening roam and put my thoughts and words together and come up with a poem. This next one is a cowboy poem written by a guy named Ray Fitzgerald out of Texas. It's called Horseback Religion. Now, a cowboy makes his living horseback, and most Sundays he's on the range. To the preacher and the deacons, this may seem a little strange, but he never misses his chance to worship just because he's not in town. God built the range he works on and sees him all around. When the snow melts in the spring and the grass starts coming on, it renews a cowboy's spirit, like the night he's waited on. He looks out over his horse's ears and watches the sun come up. God's building a new day around him, and it sure enough fills his cup. He watches a wild old range cow. She licks her newborn calf. Now that's God working before his eyes, and it beats the city 1.5 miles. There's wildlife all around him, all following nature's course. No man lives closer to God than the one that does it on a horse. Now a cowboy's wild and reckless, may not stop to count the cause, but he knows his maker better than some that thinks he's lost. A good cowboy won't mistreat a horse or let his company down. He won't lie about what he's done, but he may jar loose when he's in town. He asks the Lord's forgiveness, the same as all the rest, and ropes his mourning horse to try to do his best. A top hand won't ask no favors. He takes the good right with the bad, and he knows he won't face anything as tough as the Savior had. He works in constant danger and takes chances every day, but the Lord is right there with him as he shows and lights the way. Why, you've been pinned down under snaky broncs with no one around to lend a hand, and come out just scratched and bruised, so I knew that God was in command. When I watch wild horses run with an old mare in the lead, my throat gets tight and my heart beats fast as God feels my special need. You can't stack money high enough for what God's bought for me, but He made me a buckaroo and sent His Son to set me free. So as I ride across God's country with His handiwork all in view, that old Hamley saddle makes a plumb good cowboy pew. Now as I work cows here on earth, I'm never at a loss when I make that final roundup where Christ is wagon boss. Thank you. This is a poem written by a guy named Baxter Black, and most of you might have heard of him. It's called Are You a Cowboy? When they ask, are you a cowboy, I try to consider the source. Is it someone who thinks I'm flush and's trying to sell me a horse? Or the downtown type in tennis shoes who's skeptical but courteous and never smelled one of our kind up close and's only curious? You see, the first guy really wants to know, are you any good around stock? Can you help a cabby heifer and dally a double hawk? Do you know how to use a bowzel? Can you mouth and read a brand? He never says it straight out loud, but he's asking, are you a hand? The other guy, who's just as nice, don't know a tit from a waddle, and when he asks, are you for reals? I just quote the Greek Aristotle, who might have answered, had he lived, son, don't count on being lucky. To find out if he lives with cows, examine his boots for pucky. I like to think I'm good around cows and a pretty fair hand with a horse. But am I a surefire cowboy? I'm dodging the answer, of course. See, I've learned to handle the question. Whichever one wants to know it, I ante up and say that I'm a better cowboy poet. You know, I can remember a whole bunch of poems. With doing my cowboy poetry, I can do an hour by myself, but I just can't remember the order. This next one is one that I wrote, and it's a food-related poem. It's called Chili. When your coffee starts to bubble, and your stomach starts to grumble, and you think you'll eat most anything on the plate, then Cookie serves up chili, and you sure enough fill your belly. Oh, but then you start to wish you'd never ate. See, you ate more than 3 plates, and your stomach starts to hate the fact that you even let chili and your stomach touch. Now, before you eat some chili, remember me and my belly, and never, ever, ever eat too much. Thank you. I think this will be my last poem, and I'd like to dedicate this poem to my good friend Wayne Nelson and his wife. This poem is called Forgotten. Yes, he used to be a cow horse that was young and strong and fleet. Now he stands alone, forgotten, in the winter, snow and sleet. For his eyes are dim and hollow, and his head is turning gray. He's got too old to follow, just a horse that's had his day. They've forgotten how once he packed him at an easy swinging lope, how he braced his sturdy shoulders when he sat back on the rope. Didn't bear no weight nor distance, answered every move and word, though his sides are white with lather while he held the milling herd. Now he's stiff and old and stumbles, and he's lost that strength and speed that once took him through the darkness round the point of a stampede. And his legs are scarred and battered, both the muscle and the bone. He's just a worn-out cow horse, so they've turned him out alone. They've turned him out to winter, best he can amongst the snow. They're without a friend and lonesome. Do you think he doesn't know? Through the hours of the storm and darkness, he had time to think a lot That horse may have been forgotten, but you bet he ain't forgot. He stands still, ain't none worried, for he knows he's played the game. He's got nothing to back up from. He's been squared and ain't ashamed. For no matter where they put him, he's game to do his share. Well, I think more of the pony than the folks that put him there. Thank you.
She was looking at this.
Okay, mic's live. Getting ready to go here is Stanton Howell. You're from Billings? Helena, Montana, and he is a heck of a Texas swing artist. Take a little bit here to get picked up. Oh, you got it. Let me get out of the way.
If this was Nashville, I'd have come running out and went, "How y'all doing out there?" Right. It's not Nashville, I'm not going to do that. We need one more mic here. I thought there were 3 up here. I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks. Well, how about them beavers, huh? Tell them about myself. Let's see, what is there to tell you? I've been doing this since I was a little kid, about younger than that, off and on, and playing a little music and running around the country doing stuff. And I'm from Helena, Montana, originally from Westmore. And since nobody knows where Westmore is, I tell everybody I'm from Ismay, because everybody knows where Ismay is. There's 22 people in Ismay.
He's handsome too, isn't he?
Well, he used to be anyway. I'm getting old, you know. But,
No.
yeah, time is catching
There might
up.
be one older than you, maybe Willie.
Well, Willie's older now.
Tony Bennett, maybe.
Willie's richer. He's had plastic surgery.
He's got long
And I, in the last 3 seconds before we left the green room back there, I laid my favorite pick down and I couldn't find it before we came out here. So, thank you. How about a hand for Roseanne? She's the roadie. She was born north of Chicago to a dairy farmer's life, and everybody thought she'd be a dairy farmer's wife. But they took a trip to Yellowstone when she was 12 years old. Something about the mountains and the mountains took her home. Now she's a daughter of one cast her fortunes with the West. 20 years of boom bust, she's seen its worst and best. Her pack string she unsaddled here, her home fire's burning bright. A daughter of Wyoming now, in her heart she knows she's right. This is Louis Meixell. She's cooked in camps and tended flock, packed some hungers too. Spent nights at the Irma and the trout cut on the stew. Her family thinks she's gone to hell, and they might be right. But a daughter of Wyoming now, in her heart she knows she's right. Now she's a daughter of Wyoming, cast her fortunes with the West. 20 years of boom bust, she's seen its worst and best. Her pack string she unsaddled here, her home fire's burning bright. A daughter of Wyoming now, in her heart she knows she's right. Here's Louie again. Sometimes the thought will cross her mind of how it might have been if she'd stayed back in Illinois and married someone then. Then she laughs and heads for Cassie's and dances up a storm. Her heart belongs to Cody, Illinois is just where she's born. And she's a daughter of Wyoming, cast her fortunes with the West. 20 years of boom and bust, she's seen its worst and best. Her pack string she unsaddled here, her home fire's burning bright. A daughter of Wyoming now, she wouldn't leave without a fight. One little tag. A daughter of Wyoming now, she wouldn't leave without a fight. Thank you. This guy back here on the bass, isn't that the littlest bass you've ever seen with the biggest sound? That's something, isn't it?
It's like me anymore, you know.
Yeah, it's like, didn't use any of that stuff that you put in the water when you washed it and it shrunk, I think.
It's called a U-bass. It's built on a ukulele body, actually, out of California. I heard about it from a guy by the name of Raul Malo, who was with a group called Mavericks. And this one was designed by the guy that plays with Bonnie Raitt, who's a blues player. Maybe some of you have heard of it. But, it's pretty cool. I sold my outright, so I can hang around with this, you know. If you're playing Texas swing, you're walking a lot, and it's a pretty short scale, and easy to do, especially if you're singing at the same time.
Bill's last name is Strum, so he just automatically thinks everybody knows everything about music. Well, what he meant when he said they're walking a lot, that doesn't mean you're going back and forth on the stage. That means that you're going dum 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 instead of just going dum 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 dum, which is what a lot of bass players do.
Yeah. It's actually Sturm, which is a German name. Storm.
Bill, this is Idaho. Don't confuse these people. Well, this is called a fiddle.
Yeah, I knew that thing looked familiar.
I played a couple fiddle tunes this afternoon, and I was pretty sure that I would get a request from some people not to do it again, but you know, I've been playing this thing for 40 years, I guess, and I still can't play all the stuff that some people can learn just right away, but we learned this song years ago. I've always liked this old Western swing song here called Panhandle Rag. 1, 2, 3. I was rambling through a Texas border town. Another guy with plenty of time. She was rambling too when her eyes met mine. In a Texas town on the borderline. Oh, well, and I was getting there in winter was a falling fast. And I was getting leery cause I left another dearie in a town I'd passed. But I'm wandering from the border town, cause I married that gal and there I settled down. Texas border town. Another guy with plenty of time. She was rambling too when her eyes met mine. A Texas town up on the borderline. Oh well, then I was getting dreary and the ranger was a falling fast. And I was getting leery cause I left another dearie in the town I'd passed. But I'll never move on from the border town, cause I married that gal and there I settled down. One little tag. I married that gal and there I settled down. Well, my kind of crowd starved for entertainment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, where's Galen at? Where's Galen? Right here, Galen, come up here. Come right up here. This is Galen Guthrie. He's from kind of right here. And he put a deal on Facebook the other day. Those of you that were here last year, I had this pretty little red-headed girl come up, and we learned Faded Love in the afternoon. And she came up, and we played it on the pre-show last year. So Galen said, you know, she really should learn Orange Blossom Special. And I said, well, I'm, 500 miles away. He said, I'll tell you what I've got in my billfold. Where is it? I want to see it. He said, I have a green Ben Franklin.
Louis tried to get it off him.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. Louis was, hey, look at that. It's a green, fresh Ben Franklin.
Wow,
And
look
he
at the
said,
bugs.
he said, if my granddaughter can play Orange Blossom Special on the Saturday night show, she's going to get this green Ben Franklin. So I cut her a deal. I get 75%, she gets 25%. We started out at 90 and 10, but she's a tough negotiator. She's a Guthrie. She knows how to take care of money. Make welcome on stage, if you will, 16-year-old Veronica Guthrie. And my friend Roseanne Wiltsey. Roseanne's going to need a mic. You want on that side? Okay. Actually, the guitar's cold. She's good to go.
All right. Mr. Soundman, can I have a little bit of Louis in my monitor here? The rhythm guy on the other side. Everybody.
You want to be a little closer so you can get together, or you good? What do you guys are in charge? They're running me out of the deal here. That's all right. We started on that after my afternoon show today, about 4 o'clock. So there you go, darling. I'm going to give you the whole thing. You know, I was just kidding. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, everybody. We're out of time here. It's good to be back here again this year. You enjoyed the show tonight. There's a lot of great entertainment on it. And this, you know, it's hard to believe it's over already. We got here Thursday, and here it is Saturday night. And everybody was saying hello, and so good to be here and everything, and nice to see you again, and all that. And now we're going to be saying, well, we'll see you next year. So we'll see you somewhere down the trail at the next watering hole. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all could please rise because we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How we all doing tonight here in Shoshone, Idaho? Oh, come on, let's make a little more noise than that. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, Shoshone people, they can be loud.
Yeah, well, sometimes. Well,
I could put my hat back on. You ain't got yours.
we're going to be hosting the evening show, and first up was scheduled to be Wayne Nelson, the late Wayne Nelson, and so Colt here is going to take over for that set, but be thinking of him while you listen.
Well, I gotta have this little ugly music stand up here. It's kind of against my religion, but I know a lot of Wayne's songs over the years. I didn't know a lot of the lyrics. Wayne Nelson was a really big inspiration to me in my earlier days of starting to play music. And he taught me the first chords on a guitar. And he taught me many things about music, and in a different way that was understandable to me. I wasn't the smartest guy on the block when it came to picking, but it seems to have rubbed off, and I'm very, very honored to have this position to play these songs. Just bear with me to get through this. He was a huge thing in all of our lives in the cowboy poetry, and a lot of fun, and we sure will miss him. So we're going to start out with a little tune here. It's called Old Timer. This a little closer so I can see. The words got painted off a little small. They said I should have had glasses, but old timer, I can see by the light that shines through your white hair. When the present starts to fade and the past is suddenly there, and soon you'll be stopped talking and you'll take me back with you to the places and the faces of time I'd never knew. Old timer, things are changing so darn fast. Nobody sees the loss. You're probably hunting elk where that freeway now goes across. You said you'd road rank horses where that courthouse building stands. In a round pen made of poles that you cut with your own hands. Old timer, I think freedom was your greatest gift of all. Nobody told you where to put your cows come summer, spring, or fall. And the right to pack a gun and graze the land was heaven sent. And your enemies was winter, not the fair rule government. Talk about old depression, it was hard, the city people said. Had to do a little poaching just to keep your family fed. And the hills were full of mustangs and the woods was thick with deer. And a hand with rope and rifle never had too much to fear. Timer, I think freedom was your greatest gift of all. Nobody told you where to put your cows come summer, spring, or fall. And the right to pack a right gun and graze land that heaven sent. And your enemies were winter, not the fair rule government. guess I'd better get on down the road, let you get some sleep. Here's hoping that your dreams are mixed with memories you can only keep. You've seen heaven and hell in your time, I could never know. I'd rather hear you tell it than see it some picture show. Old timer, I think freedom was your greatest gift of all. Nobody told you where to put your cows come summer, spring, or fall. And the right to pack a gun or graze the land was heaven sent. And your enemies were winner, not the federal government. And your enemies were winner, not the federal government. Bear with me, folks. It's kind of a tough deal. You know what? And I was coming over here and I was late and I needed these words really bad and I had to stop in Mud Lake and grab an email address and email it to my friend, and I grabbed them, and then I noticed that I forgot my CD of Wayne because I was going to read these words while I was driving, and kind of like texting and driving, you know, not safe, not good, but anyways, I forgot the CD, so I was safe all the way here. We run out of gas twice. Here's one of my favorite songs that Wayne used to do. It's a little bit hilarious. Well, there's boys that swing a lute, and boys that rob a train, and boys that ride around at night, especially when it rains. They know the back door to your ranch and the front door to the jail. And when it's time to box them in, I'm the man to drive the nails. Just call your able and effective stock detective. Well, you go out and get a head count, come up short without a clue. Where'd all them critters disappear that you'd put out there in June? When hide your hair and your carcass be found of your best hands, and time gets sold down the road with the running iron brand, just call your able and effective stock detective. You know the kind of fellers I'm looking for. One that's got a walk-in freezer in the back of their horse trailer. Well, my rifle's always loaded and my cinch is always tight. White circles round my pony's eyes that helps him see at night. I can track a mouse across the rock on nights without a moon. Smell burning hair a mile away, shoot wrinkles off a prune. Just call your able and effective stock detective. People always ask me how I learned to shoot so good. They think I've been to military sniper school. But that ain't it. I used to work in the post office. Well, the ground inspector hates me because he keeps it on his toes. He knows my bygone reputation don't smell like a rose. It takes a thief to catch one, and I believe that saying's true. Because in my younger and wilder days I'd lost a brand or two. So call your able and effective stock detective. Hey, Bill Sturm. Thanks for the call. I ain't seen hide nor hair of that bull you lost. Hey, Brian Dilworth, I'll make you a hell of a deal on a half a ton of hamburger. You know, please do me justice, Wayne. I haven't done these songs for, well, you know, you play them with him for years, and you never learn to do them. I forgot my capo. Imagine that. Oh, wait, hold on, I got it. I had to capo this one up. We're always doing like backup stuff, you know, behind him, and he had some of the greatest songs. Not too long ago I heard, you know, Wayne, a friend was saying, Wayne Nelson was one of the best writers in the Northwest. And I can't help but think that's true. He had a way with words that were really hard to put together. I've tried to write a few songs, and I never could get them to go together this well. So bear with me on this one. This is a real tough one to do. I want to put this out to Becky that come all the way up for this tribute and for the show tonight. A pain-racked old cowboy saw a storm cloud filling up the sky. Through the hospital window, the lightning set face on fire. Doctor said there was no way this rounder will last till the morn. A strong, gentle voice said, "Come on, pard, it's time to go." Outside the instant, all saddled up and ready to roll. So one old tumbleweed he bid adios to his body, all lifeless and thin. He flew over fences and bounced down that road with a grin. His horse pricked an ear and called out him when he rode by. He said, "Thanks, old boy, for the cow sense and good rides. I can't stop now, I'm just barely learning to fly." And this old tumbleweed a bunch of his cronies were watching the storm from the store. When the wind blew him up on the steps that led up to the door. Between sips of coffee they talked, they missed that old man. He swelled up with pride to learn how much affection they had. They rose from their chairs when they saw something move down the street. Just one old tumbleweed. The woman he loved had walked with someone else down the aisle. He stopped by her window and hung on the porch for a while. He watched as she studied the mirror that lit down her gray hair. A warm feeling flooded his heart, just knowing she still cared. She heard alongside in the wind, but all that was there, just one old tumbleweed. The nighthawk was circling the herd as he rolled out of town. The storm died away and bright stars peeked out from the cloud. He never forgot what he saw as it danced in the wind. Higher and higher it flew with great playful sound. Big prairie moon seemed to smile as they say, come on in. It's one old tumbleweed, one old tumbleweed. Come on home, you old tumbleweed. Welcome home, Wayne. Well, that's enough of that. Let's do some happy things song. This is one we've known for a long, long time. He taught us back when we were just knee-high to a grasshopper. I remember me and my little cousin, and my cousin was just a year older than me, we all sang this up to Salmon, Idaho at the state gathering when they had the state gathering up there. And my grandmother, you know, took a liking to Wayne, and Grandma, of course, prodded us with music and got us going. And we always had Wayne and Becky come up to the house, and the Corrigan sisters, and Roberta Green, and a lot of people, some of you people are familiar with them people, some of you are not. So we'd go to the St. Anthony Cowboy Poetry Gathering and play till wee hours in the morning. I'm not talking like just 2 o'clock, I'm talking like 7 in the morning, the sun comes up and the coffee gets on and you just go back to town and do it all over again. So. Snake hole in a prickly pear, and I wanna live with the old dog kind. Cockleburrs in my hair, cockleburrs in my hair. The rain on the level rock, all day the Comstock, sleeping in the rim rock all day long. The brown-haired rock chuck run from the cattle truck, I don't mind being stuck where I belong. Big fat round snake looking for a grub stake, gonna do a double take, he sees me riding on a work clutch, stepping on a stink hook, shining in the brown, just bouncing on my knee. Well, I wanna live in sagebrush country, blow snake coil in a prickly pear. I wanna live with the old dog cow, cockleburrs in my hair, cockleburrs in my hair. Well, I smell like sheep dip, take a little sad trip, going down deep, drink a little beer, and talk to the camp jack, don't bring hardtack, hiding in the haystack, gave it clear. Grasshopper, fiddle dance, wood ticks in your pants, don't take a chance on a red ant pie. Little red antelope grazing from the south slope, greasy old smoke from the sagebrush fire. Yeah, I wanna live in sagebrush country, blow snake hole in a prickly pear. I wanna live with the old dog cow, cockleburrs in my hair, cockleburrs in my hair, cockleburrs in my hair. Here. This is a song a few months ago. I've been working on an album for years. I I ain't seemed to got enough money together. Last time I wrote him a bad check, and then that didn't work out, so he said he want money. So, heck, I got checks, lots of checks. Got a new book of them. Anyways, this is a song that we kind of wrote together, and it's a real privilege. A lot of you haven't heard this, a few of you have. It's called The Davis Kids, and it's about a family that were not so lucky, you know, and had a hard time growing up, poor, and had parents that were not the best, but these kids had a great talent. And he'd been thinking about this song. We've been talking about it on the phone, you know, for a month or so, and he says, yeah, I got this song, I really want you to do it. Because I asked him, I said, Wayne, I'd like to do a few of your songs. And he said, well, I got this one I really want to do. So I put Sagebrush Country on the new record, and this one here. I don't know it well enough, so I gotta have these cheat sheets. But here it is, it's called The Davis Kids. The Davis kids were new in town, my folks didn't like them hanging around. They said trash like that only gonna get you in trouble. Well, their dad was in jail for too many fights, and mama closed the bar most every night. Folks locked the door, they ever saw them coming. Then Saturdays came, we were down by the river, make our own bows and arrows, and enter to the river. Then we'd go home, cook up the fish we caught. Behind the couch sat a dusty guitar. Gordy pulled out the harmonica. Then when I heard, changed the way I saw them forever. I said, Lord, how the boys could play music. Lord, how the boys could play music. Lord, how the boys could play music and sing. Well, the town held a yearly town show, and I talked long and hard, tried to get them to go. Sign up, you know, be the start of something special. All summer when they could have laid on the banks of the river with their fishing poles, I said, Lord, how the boys could play music. Lord, how the boys could play music. Lord, how the boys could play music and sing. Well, the big night came, tight as a drum. Everybody wondered where they come from, with their patched up jeans and their hair that could use some combing. When they started playing, everybody forgot they sound so. Let's see, sorry. The way that they heard it sound so hot. Now the crowd on their feet rocked out Johnny B. Good. Well, the politicians raised their ugly heads. The surest kid took first place instead, even though she sang off key in both her numbers. And the mayor's kid, he took second place with a magic act that was a disgrace. It was easy to see talent didn't really matter. Well, Lord, how the boys could play music. Lord, how the boys could play music. Lord, how the boys could play music and sing. Well, their folks packed them up, they moved away to God knows where, but just the other day I saw the faces in a Nashville band that looked familiar. Late at night when I went to bed that us all education and wonderful songs.
Well, we got a few sponsors to thank, so we're really glad that Four Brothers Dairy, Glanbia, and KMVT Television has all sponsored this event, so y'all can give them a hand. Say what?
The milk, the dairy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Glanbia does something with cheese or something. So,
Oh,
that's what I was told. I don't know why everybody's laughing.
I thought it was a dairy.
Okay, well, anyway. KMVT ran something on this festival yesterday, so that was great. We also want to thank Payson Reese. He has...
Yes. for sure.
Yeah.
Claudia.
And Claudia as well.
Yes. And all the people who helped out. We don't know who they all
All the
are. We
volunteers.
know their faces, but I don't know all their names. But yes, thank you so much. This is wonderful to bring people together like this and have good cowboy entertainment come.
Yeah, and couldn't happen without him. And then also, if y'all look at your program, there's a lot of other people that helped out by putting ads in here, and I'm not going to read them all because y'all can read. But
You'll have to read them to me later. Because
anyway, Betty Fredrickson from Gooding actually donated putting this whole booklet together, so that was really nice. Our next performance is a poet, and I met him here I guess he's been here for several years, but he's been reciting poetry since he was 5 years old, so let me tell you, he's been doing it a long time. I'm just kidding. He's wonderful. He's got a lot of accolades, and he's a humorist, storyteller, historian, entertainer, public speaker, writer, MC, etc. He's gonna bring me some cowboy poetry. Tony Argento.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How we doing?
Great.
All right. We're going to move some mics here right shortly. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight and supporting this grand event. I consider it a premier event. It's warm and friendly. I'm very humbled. Let's say thank you here to Chris. He's our sound man. I want to thank the Fitzgerald family for putting up with my wife and I and hosting us, and all of the people here that host the entertainers. Thank you. And I want to thank the sponsors, the volunteers, and the Lost and Love Committee. Let's hear it for them, because that's what makes us happy. That's fine. Thank you, young man. I want to hear the rippest, roarest crowd you ever heard, first time out of the box on the count of 3. With a big yeehaw. Are you with me? All right. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's the spirit. One morning I wake up. I was happy. As long as my name's not in the obituary, I'm breathing, and I'm above ground, I'm good. I look up at the ceiling, and I can picture all these old cowboys. Every one. Everything they needed to do their job. Their 6-shooters, their branding irons, their hosses, their Dutch ovens, everything was all there. And it was in this huge building. And as a boy, I always heard, and I believe, that old cowboys never die. So I titled this Old Cowboy's Rest Home. It was an old cowboy's rest home that 'twas thought would never be. But they sure were there, with spurs and chaps and boots upon their feet. Old West, picture perfect, where Dutch ovens cooking up their best, with all the fixings of good grub that put hair upon their chest. Good victuals is important to keep them living extra long, and to help them with their cowboy poetry, and to sing their cowboy song. The aroma of campfire coffee and good old cowboy beans, with cowboy posters on the walls of Tom Mix, John Wayne, Roy, and Gene. Their scabbard rifles and holstered 6 guns, there for times of need. Them cowboy hats laid upon their crowns, respectful as should be. Their branding irons in the fire, waiting to mark their brands. Camp cooks in their Studebaker chucks, cooking for all the hands. Patriotic is the cowboy. Of course, we all reckon that's true. Yeah, like Western stars, Gene and Audie Murphy, just to name a few. And like a Charlie Russell painting, all cowboys, they'll never die. And looking back to cowboys past, their pride and spirit still alive. Thank you. That's for you, Wayne.
Yes.
The psychic fair was canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. Doggone it anyway. The fellow that wrote this was a gospel writer and singer, born in 1876. He died in 1952. A number of fellows recorded this, but the one that made it popular was Hank Snow in 1955. And it's called, I'm going to give you a name right here. I drink a lot of water. The drought really has an effect on me. Called Old Doc Brown. He was an old country doctor in our little Shoshone town. Fame and fortune had passed him by, but we never saw him frown. And day by day, in his kindly way, he helped us one and all. Any patient forgot to pay, although Doc's fees were small. Oh, he didn't seem to mind. He never sent out bills. Why, his only ambition was to find, it seems, was sure cures for aches and ills. Why, nearly half the people in our hometown, and I'm one of them too, were ushered in by old Doc Brown when we made our first debut. Oh, he needed his dimes, and there were times that he'd receive a fee. He'd just pass it along to some poor soul that needed it worse than he. But then a depression hit our little town and drained each meager purse. And why, the scanty income of old Doc Brown just went from bad to worse. He had to sell all of his mules, horses, and tack. He couldn't even afford his pasture rent. So to a dusty room over a livery stable, Doc Brown and his practice went. At the hitching post at the curb below to advertise his wares, he nailed a little sign that read, Doc Brown has moved upstairs. And there he kept on helping folks get well. And his heart was just pure gold. But anyone with eyes could see that Doc was getting old. And then one day he never answered when they knocked upon his door. Old Doc Brown was lying down, but his soul, it was no more. He was laying there in his old black suit. On his face was a smile of content. But the only money they could find on him was a quarter and a copper cent. So they opened up his ledger, and what they saw gave their hearts a pull. And beside each debtor's name, old Doc had wrote these words, paid in full. Well, looked like the potter's field for Doc, and that caused us to think and scratch. Yeah, till someone remembered the family's graveyard out of the Simmons Ranch. Now, old man Simmons, oh, he's a grateful cuss. He says, Doc been like one of the family. Yeah, so you could let him sleep with us. Now, old Doc should have had a funeral fine enough for a king. It's a ghastly joke that our town was broken. No one could give a thing. Yeah, except Jones, the undertaker. He did mighty well. Donating an old iron casket that he'd never been able to sell. And the funeral procession? Oh, it wasn't much for grace and pomp and style. Why, them wagon loads of mourners, they stretched out for more than a mile. We breathed the prayers. We laid them there to rest beneath the sod. This man had the right to be on speaking terms with God. And his grave? It was covered with flowers, but not from the floral shops. Nope, just roses and things from people's gardens and one or two dandelion pots. For the Depression, it hit our little town hard, and each man, he carried a load. So some just picked the wildflowers they passed along the road. And we wanted to give them a monument. Yeah, we kind of figured we owed them one. For our Doc made our little town a better place for all the good he'd done. But the monuments, they cost money. And we did the best we could, so on his grave we gently placed a monument, wood. And we pulled up that old hitching post where Doc had nailed his sign, and we painted it white, and all of us, it certainly did look fine. Now the rains and snow washed away our white cheap store-bought paint. There ain't nothing left but Doc's old sign, and that's getting faint. But still, when the southern breezes and the flickering stars caress our sleeping town, and the pale moon shines through the Shoshone pines on the grave of old Doc Brown, you can still see that old hitching post if in answer to our prayers, you'll be telling the whole wide world, Doc Brown has moved upstairs. Mr. R.E. Winston. Thank you. I come up here from Reno, Mrs. and I. She was nice enough this time. I got the right in front. Riding in that dang trunk, there ain't much view back there. Kind of stuffy. I'm doing a little over the speed limit, and so I get pulled over. I'm not real happy about it, and this officer, he's kind of ornery with me, and keeps going back and forth, and he sees I'm upset, and so he's upset. Pretty soon he says, look, you ever been up before a judge? And I just tipped my hat back and looked him right square in the eye. And I says, hell, I don't know. What time does he get up? And a sign here, please. Thank you. This is a classic by Mr. Bruce Kiskatten. Us cowboy poets consider him our hero. This one's called Judgment Day. That joke led up to this poem. I'm going to have some fun with this, and you're going to see why. Once I dreamt while I was sleeping that the earth had passed away, and the boss of all creation made a work on Judgment Day. There was folks of every color. There was folks of every breed. And they cut them into bunches, according to their race and to their creed. Top-hand angels done the cutting. Well, they knowed how to handle things. Some would change and help the others while they'd smoke. And rest their wings. Then I seen a bunch of fellas they was holding on the side, grazing sort of loose and easy, and the angels working wide. He had judged and classed the others by a book of rules he used. Then he calls out to the angels, "Now bring on the buckaroos." Angels bunched and shoved forward. Well, some boys were surprised, but not dismayed. Ambling up to face the judgment came that grizzled, wild brigade. Each one pulled his hat on tighter that they'd done from habit's force. It's a trick of most rough riders when they mount a bucking horse. Some was young and some was older. Some walked with a limping stride. Some still had their high-heeled boots on that they was wearing when they died. They all stood in line to answer all the ways they'd spent their days. And they faced the boss of heaven with a cool and level gaze. And the boss of all creation, he gave them boys a careful look. Then says to the top-hand angel, "Now bring me out that range law book." Well, I turned and asked an angel why that judgment book was changed. Well, they judged that bunch of cowboys by the laws that ruled the range. And he answered very solemn. And that the reason was because you can't never judge a cowboy by another fella's laws. Mr. Bruce Kiscatten, thank you. Come on, folks, we haven't fun yet. Let's hear it. Yeah! All right. I love this crowd, I really do. Thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you this evening. Now, I'm going to get another one here. This drought is something else. My father worked for the phone company for 41 years. He worked outside. One day I come home. He was there. It was snowing that day. He kind of beat. He goes, "Hey, Tom, why don't you pour your old dad a highball?" I said, "All right, Dad." So makes him a drink and bring it in there. He's sitting there in his chair and he goes, "Sit down." And he goes, "Tell you what," he goes, "I want to ask you a question." I says, "Go ahead, Dad, shoot." He looks at me and he says, "How old are you?" I look up at him and I said, "Well, I'm 5, Dad." He looked right back at me and says, "When I was your age, I was 6. Thank you. Okay, I had a boss. "You know what I like about you, Tony?" I said, "What, sir?" He goes, "Nothing. Absolutely nothing." Now, I'm going to give you a novelty poem. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually a story. And it's a hillbilly mother writing to a hillbilly son. And I call it Dear Junior. Dear Junior, I'm writing this here letter slow, as I know you cannot read fast. Now, just for your factual point here, these are all true. We don't live where we did when you left. As your pa read, well, most accidents happen within 20 miles of the home. So we moved. I can't give you a new address. They're true. I can't give you a new address. The last family that lived here took the numbers with them for their next house, so they wouldn't have to change their address. Say, this here place has one of them newfangled washing machine thingies. Why, the first day I put 4 shirts in it, pulled the chain, and haven't seen them since. I love it. Okay. It only rained here 2 times this week. 3 days the first time and 4 days the second time. Oh, and about that coat you wanted me to send to you. Your Aunt Sue Ann said it'd be a little too heavy to send in the mail with all them big heavy buttons on them. So, we cut them off and put them in the pockets. Oh my God. Got a letter from the funeral home the other day. Said if we didn't make the last payment on Granny's funeral bill, up she comes. Oh, and about your sister Betty Sue, she had a baby this morning. I don't know whether it's a boy or girl, so we don't know if you're an aunt or an uncle. And speaking of uncles, your Uncle Merle done fell in the whiskey vat at the distillery last week, and, well, some of his friends tried to pull him out, but he fought them off playfully. So he drowned. We cremated him, he burned for 3 days. I'm gonna run out of time up here. Oh, and for your birthday, your Aunt Jess Perlwin knitted you a nice pair of colorful woolen socks. Beautiful prunes and fruitcakes embroidered on the sides. But after she'd done sending off to you, the lady there at the post office said she'd reckoned you'd grown another foot since she'd seen you last. You know where it's going, right? Sorry. These were off my 8 rehearsal, too. So now your aunt's fixing to knit you another one. You should be getting the mail sometime next week. Now, yesterday I was putting that 105 in the shade, according to the thermometer, sitting in the sun. I don't know if that's regular or Celsius. But your brother Holland done went and locked his keys in the ignition of the old Nash Ram station wagon. And to say the least, your pa and I was getting a mite bit nervous and somewhat worried. But after about 2 hours, he finally found a rock big enough to break out a side winder and got us out of there. Ooh-wee, that was a close one. Oh, and by the way, 3 of your friends went off the old bridge in a pickup truck. One was driving, the other 2 were back. The driver, he got out okay. He's able to roll the window down and swim to safety. The other 2 drowned. Apparently they couldn't get the tailgate open. Oh, my God. I like a crowd that has a good time. I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm not even done yet. You folks still like me, right? Well, nothing much has happened. Ma, P.S. was going to send you some money, but the envelope was already sealed. Thank you. Thank you. Do I have time for one more?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. Well, thank you. 'Cause I know we're on a time frame, and I want to make sure everybody gets their fair share.
Is this before or after you wet your pants?
I'll let you know after I'm off the stage.
Just wanted to know.
Folks, I want to be serious with you, really. As entertainers up here, our focus is to make you happy. Get your mind off of things that aren't right. If we can do that, you give you a smile or a laugh, then we feel we made that connection. I just want to say that. Thank you very much for doing the show. Sunday, I got in trouble with the missus. I got a lot of respect for her. Of course, I wear the pants in the family. She just tells me what color to wear. I'm just sitting there, minding my own business, and she says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I looked her right straight in the eye, too. And I looked her right in the eye and I said, "Nothing." She says, "You did that yesterday." I said, "Well, I wasn't finished." Thank you. You've been a great audience, and I want to do an audience participation right here. I'm going to ask 2 questions. You can see I can't count very well. Was all through school like that. Would you like to hear humor, or would you like to hear good old-fashioned American patriotism? I want your feedback.
Both.
Both. Well, I'm going to be cutting into some of our friends over here, and I respect them. I want to make sure that I don't get kicked off the stage here. So I got a short time. I'll tell you what. I love you all, and I want you all to be happy. I take my hat off when I do patriotic verse. There's a reason for that. When we do our Pledge of Allegiance, we do the same thing. Respect for our great American flag that means so much to all of us. Respect for our men and women who serve this country, those men and women who gave that ultimate sacrifice, allowing us these freedoms that we so dearly love.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Thank you all.
Amen.
Johnny Cash fans? Yes! Johnny wrote and recorded these lyrics and come out with an album on Columbia Records, April 5th, 1974. 10 months to the day after he heard this on a syndicated radio show by a fellow they called the Walter Cronkite of Canada. His name was Gordon Sinclair. And he wrote this script called America, the Good Neighbor. And he'd had it as a Canadian citizen, not American, Canadian. All these countries, the United States bailed out after the war efforts, forgave their debt, rebuilt their infrastructure, rebuilt their economy. All they could do is criticize good old US of A. Johnny Cash took that one step further and come out with a patriotic album called Ragged Old Flag. There's 12 verses on it. He wrote every one with the exception of one, which was co-written by June Carter Cash, his wife. That's album number 46. That stayed on the top 100 charts for 2 years. Fast forward 27 years later to the 9/11 bombing. That album charted again. That tells you the true patriotism in America. He's not wearing black. He's wearing a denim jacket pointing at a ragged old flag. I was walking through a county courthouse square on a park bench, and an old man was sitting there. I says, "Your old courthouse kind of run down." He says, "No, it'll do for our little town." I says, "Your flagpole, it's leaned a bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." And he says, "Have a seat." So I sat down. "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "Why, I think it is." He says, "Well, I don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a little hole in that flag there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And it got powder burned the night that Francis Scott Key sat watching and writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' We got a bad rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at its seams. It almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on through. She got cut with a sword in Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. And there was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. And that south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. on Flanders Field in World War I. She got a big hole from a Bertha gun. And she turned blood red in World War II. And she hung limp and low by the time it was through. And she was in Korea and Vietnam, Iraq and Afghanistan. And she went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. And she waved from our ships upon the briny foam, but well, they just about quit waving her back here at home. In her own good land, she's been abused. She's been burned, denied, dishonored, and refused. And the government for which she stands is scandalized throughout the land. She's getting threadbare and wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, and I believe she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, take her down every night. We don't let her touch the ground, and we hold her upright. You know, on second thought, I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. Mr. Johnny Cash, thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Was that Chris or was that you, young man? Oh, sure. Okay, fine. I'm good with that. Had me scared there. What the hell's that? Thank you. Let's hear it for Cole for that wonderful dedication to Wayne.
Let's hear it for Tony. Man, what an entertainer. Great stuff. I used to grow a beard like that to several propane furnace accidents. I admire somebody that can grow a beard like that. These next guys that are coming up here, I'll tell you what. I've known these guys for what, maybe 4 or 5 years now, or 6 or 8. Time flies when you're having fun. Dave here, he's been a farmer up in northern Idaho parts, up there, you're around Moscow, Pullman, Palouse, that area, right? Right, yeah? And what did you do? John was a team roper, he done some team roping in the early days. You used to sell stuff, or do you still sell stuff for that company? Don't tell anybody. Anyways, these guys, you know, they were on their way down here, and they got pulled over by the cop. Did anybody hear about that? Yeah, they got pulled over by the cop, and they were sitting there talking to the cop, and this cop's trying to write this ticket out to Dave. And these flies kept bothering him, and he's swatting at them with his ticket book. And the cop finally says, Dave, you know what kind of flies these are by chance? He says, yeah, them are circle flies. Says they fly around a horse's butt. Says, you call me a horse's butt? He says, no, but you sure can't fool them circle flies. Hey, let's welcome the Panhandle Cowboys, folks.
We actually did. We actually did get pulled over this summer, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And that Idaho State Trooper told us, he says, you know, Cowboys, it's 50 miles an hour all the way to the Montana border.
That's what he told us. He was not.
And then Dave says, is there any more you guys up there? He was not very happy.
We're going to sing you some of our songs. We got a couple of new ones. Here's a one called Blackfoot Joe. Headed down from Canada, 2 horses in tow. His daddy was a trapper, his mother half Blackfoot and Crow. looking for a job, he said, I'm hungry and cold. Took him in at that and we called him Blackfoot Joe. Blackfoot Joe, he was the best wrangler around. Had a way with horses, but always trouble when he headed to town. He could take the meanest broad and settle it down. But when it comes to people, there's always trouble around.
Blackfoot Joe felt at ease living with the horses out on the land. The horses understood him, and he always rode them with a kind hand. They were willing partners and friends who saw the good in the heart of the man. A friendly word and an outstretched hand can go a long way with horses. Why not with man? Joe always wondered why the townspeople only saw a half-breed to hate and fear, and there was always trouble for Joe in the towns he came near. So Joe just turned and rode off, shaking his head and trying to leave the hurt and trouble behind. They say horses can't see color. Too bad the same can't be said for mankind.
Blackfoot Joe, he was the best wrangler around. Had a way with horses, but always trouble when he headed to town. He could take the neatest bronc and settle it down. When it comes to people, there's always trouble around. Headed back to Canada, 4 horses in tow. Tony! Let's do a song. This is a brand new song I wrote. It's called Rodeo Hero. Papa Matt, this one's for you. He is a hero. He is a hero of mine. He is a hero. Oh, he is a hero of mine. I'm gonna tell you all a story about a rodeo clown. He was raised on a ranch. He's from the heartland. He is a hero. He is a hero of mine. And he learned how to rope and he learned how to ride on a little painted horse. One blue eye, he is a hero. He is a hero of mine. At the age of 18, well, he hit the road. Well, he wanted to ride in that rodeo show. He is a hero. He is a hero of mine. But he just couldn't make that 8-second ride, 'cause a bull threw him down in the dirt every time. But he's a hero. He's a hero of mine. Oh, he's a hero. Oh, he's a hero of mine. I'm gonna tell you all a story about a rodeo clown. Well, he decided he'd fight that bull on the ground. Now he's a hero. He's a hero of mine. Now every night at the rodeo show, when the cowboy's down, he's after that bull. He is a hero. He's a hero of mine. He's running him down, he's keeping him safe, while the cowboy's looking for his escape. He is a hero. He's a hero of mine. Fast as lightning, he slaps that bull. Oh, the crowd just can't believe this show. He is a hero. He's a hero of mine. Oh, he's a hero. He's a hero of mine. You know, he learned how to rope and he learned how to ride on a little paint horse with one blue eye. He is a hero. He's a hero of mine. Now every night at the rodeo show, when the cowboy's down, he's after that bull. He is a hero. He's a hero of mine. He's running him down, he's keeping him safe, while the cowboy's looking for his escape. He is a hero. He's a hero of mine. he slaps that bull, oh, the crowd just can't believe this show. He is a hero, is a hero of mine. He is a hero, oh, he's a hero of mine. Yeah, he's a hero, oh, he's a hero of mine.
This is a song off our CD that we put out last year. Those other two songs we're going to put on our next CD. We're working on it. I don't know. We're going to get it done. We're like poets.
Yeah, we're kind of like poets. We gotta dig really deep.
You can't just write a check to pay the studio man.
We try like
Oh, that road cowboy riding on the range. You got a ride saddle and a bedroll to nail. I'm chasing cattle all across the range. Bedroll cowboy, just working for a wage. Oh, bedroll cowboy, what you gonna do when the trail drives over and the work's all through? Hey, bedroll cowboy, where you gonna go when your ways are over and your ways are through? Oh.
Some folks call me drifter, saddle tramp, or dead road cowboy, and my kind's getting mighty few. It's a way of life a lot of cowboys of the olden days knew. Footloose and fancy free, with nothing to tie us down, we drifted from ranch to ranch, never wanted to live in town.
Just working for a wage, and that road cowboy, you know that fence the range. Got cattle grazing on a feedlot range. Won't need your work, boy, not anymore. The times have changed, boys, there's work no more. Oh.
I got no home, no horse, or a wife to deter me from this vagabond way of life. But the times are coming for the need to roam is starting to fade. Soon, I'll quit this drifting way of life and tie on with a pretty little wife.
Bedroll cowboy, just working for a wage. Put up your bedroll, your work's all through. Bedroll cowboy, your ways are through.
This is a song that's the last cut on our album, our last album, and Dave and I really liked it. But the disc jockeys don't play it like they do some of the other. They just play the devil out of Bedroll Cowboy, but we're kind of like Stampede. We thought they'll love this one. They don't play it.
Well, nothing makes a cowboy quit to someone yell stampede. Stampede, oh no stampede. Son of cowboy gave the call, we got us a stampede. Stampede, oh no stampede. Well, nothing makes a cowboy quit to someone yell stampede.
The stampede came hard and quick as they rushed into the night. It's hard to tell sometimes what gives them such a fright. As I ride through the herd, trying to get them to settle while they mill around, I'm singing and talking to them as they start to settle to the ground.
Stampede, oh no stampede. Son of a cowboy gave the call. We got us a stampede, stampede, oh no stampede. Well, nothing makes a cowboy quake to someone, yeah, stampede.
As I ride around the herd, the rest of the crew's all gathered, just looking at the ground. What's so important about that? Why aren't they helping me with the herd? What's so important about what they found? Life feels different this morning. My heart feels light and free. Is it the sunrise or that ray of light that's shining down on me? So I ride over to my cars and try to get a look at the ground and what they see. And there, lying crushed under his horse, is a cowboy in the same boots, hat, and clothes as me.
Stampede, oh no stampede. Son of a cowboy gave the call. We got us a stampede, stampede, oh no stampede. Well, nothing makes a cowboy quake to someone, yeah, stampede.
Let's do a song I wrote. There's so much swing music going on nowadays. And I told JB on one of our trips home, I said, let's try to write a swing song. Do you remember your part?
I'm ready, open the chute.
I forgot it. Let's do
I
that
missed
again.
it.
Okay, do you remember your part?
I'm waiting. Yeehaw!
Okay. Oh, lady, oh, you, I'm sure missing you. I'm thinking about a night without you. Wonder why I'm feeling blue. Nighttime falls around me. I'll start missing you. Listen to that lonesome call. Coyote crying up the road. Oh, the little lady, I'm sure missing you. Lonely nights without you, out here on the range. Prairie breezes whispering, it's calling out your name. I'm thinking of a night without you. Wonder why I'm feeling blue. Nighttime falls around me, and I'll start missing you. Do 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 do. Oh, lady, oh, lady, out here on the range, I'm thinking of a night without you. Wonder why I'm feeling blue. Nighttime falls around me, I'll start missing you. Prairie breezes whispering, it's calling out your name. Lonely nights you're all alone, out here on the range. I'm thinking of a night without you. Wonder why I'm feeling blue. Nighttime falls around me, I'll start missing you. Oh, the lady, oh, lady, oh, the lady, oh, lady, oh, the lady, oh, lady, I'm sure missing you.
Yeehaw!
Let's give another big hand for the Panhandle Cowboys. Man, they got some of the nicest shirts I've ever seen. I got some nice shirts. I think we're looking pretty close to the same size. We ought to swap off for 6 months and then we'll swap back. Then when people think we bought new shirts. You ready? You need... take them to the dry cleaners. The best way to do that is take them down to DI and then hurry back the next day and buy them back. It's cheaper than taking them to the dry cleaners. They wash them pretty good down there. Is everybody enjoying themselves so far? Yeah! Hey, what I wanted to acknowledge up here is, and I forgot to because I was kind of mixed up over here, but this is a picture of our good old friend Wayne, and this is his old guitar he used to play, and he had everybody brand it or have their brand put on it. He was pretty proud of that old guitar. He used it a lot, and he used to play this sage harp a lot. So in memory of Wayne, Becky brought this for us, and it's a great, great thing to have here tonight. All right, folks, what we're going to do is a little intermission for a minute. But while I got y'all tied in here for a second, it is your last chance to get your raffle tickets for the gun and the musical instruments and some other merchandise they had back there. I think they had some tin signs and everything. What's that?
Those are gone.
Oh, you won that already? Oh, you won the tin signs. So it's just the gun and the musical instruments, right? And they're gonna, yeah, and that's starting after the intermission. I had strict orders from the boss. That's after the intermission, right, Claudia? Hell, I don't know. All right, folks, if we could bring the house lights on here and everybody take a little intermission. Let's give these performers another great big hand. She's a lot better to look at.
Don't clap for me. We've got a awesome act to start off the second half, and I've known her a couple of years, and she's from Montana, Boulder, Montana. She's 14 years old. Beautiful girl with a beautiful voice, and she plays the fire out of a fiddle, and she songwrites and yodels and does everything else and plays Django Reinhardt songs, and so I think she's pretty amazing, and she's got her dad accompanying her. So please welcome Bridget Reedy.
This will be a very good show. You won't be able to hear me. Wow. Nope. Never mind.
The sound guy.
Yes. Thank you so much. It's been such a good sound guide. It's so important. Thank you so much. You know, thank you to everybody. It's been such a wonderful weekend. It was a beautiful drive up, and then everybody that I've met here has been sweet and wonderful, and it's been so fun to play with all these great musicians. It's been really wonderful, so thank you everybody. Out on the plains, down near Santa Fe, there lived a cowboy, riding the range one day as he jogged along. I heard him singing a most peculiar cowboy song. It was a ditty he learned in the city. Come and tie, hippie, get along, little doggies. Get along, you better be on your way. Get along, get hit, little dogs. And he trucked them down that old fairway, singing his cow boogie in the strangest way. Come tie, come tie, hippie, singing his cowboy song. He's just too much. He's got a knocked out western accent with a Harlem touch. He was raised on Bookeroo. He's what you call a swinging half-breed, singing his cow boogie in the strangest way. Come tie, come tie, hippie. Harlem touch. He was raised on Boca Wade, is what you call a swinging half-breed, singing his cow boogie in the strangest way. Come die, come die, singing his cow boogie in the strangest way. Come die, come die. I'm going to do a little poem for you that I wrote. I've grown up homeschooled by my mom and my dad, and my little brother's homeschooled too. And it's just been such a beautiful way to grow up. And what I love is the flexibility that I can come out and do things like this without having school issues. And my mom has done a beautiful job, I hope. And what's great is that if it's a really beautiful day, I can go out in the morning when all the rest of the kids are in school, and I can go out and hike, or I can go and ride my horse, and then come and do the school later. And this poem is called The Beauty of Homeschool. I hear the door open, boots sound on the floor, a potential respite from the excruciating bore of the math I've been doing for an eternity or more. The beauty outside growing harder to ignore. Now don't get me wrong, algebra's fun and all, but nothing compared to a ride in the fall. I pack up my books and file them away, run down to the trailer past freshly stacked hay. My horse is there waiting, saddled up, ready to ride. Daddy prepared her as a sweet surprise. Swinging the saddle, ready to go, but feeling the ropes after that first snow. Lope in the meadow through stubble and leaves, splashing through the ditch, enjoying the breeze, counting our hoofbeats, measuring our stride, round bale circumference, diameter times pi. Pi. X amount of cattle equals 20 bales of hay. Somehow that math creeps in anyway. But there lies the secret to my homeschool success. School from the saddle is simply the best. My daddy is going to do something interesting while I drink water.
An interpretive dance.
Yes, he's going to tap dance for everyone.
Hold off on that. Careful what you wish for.
Dad was always the musical influence for me my whole life. And he would sing to me when I was really, really little and before I was even born. And this was a lullaby that he would always sing to me, and I loved it my whole life. And it's actually the first song that Jimmy Rogers ever recorded, which is very little known. This is Sleep Little Baby Sleep. Sleep, little baby, sleeping. Close your bright eyes and listen while your mother dear sings sweet lullabies. Oh, songs for you. Holding your love, holding love, holding love. I did on love, holding That's a very nice audience. Thank you guys. I am gonna do a song about Montana. It's called Montana. Yes, I'm doing it for Patrick. He gave me a very nice deal on a very pretty piece of jewelry that I love. So this one's for him. He was showing me all these really pretty stones he got out of Montana. So this one's for him. Oops. I guess I don't use this thing for decoration. I should probably, I know. Not good. Mountain waters meander down, coursing through fertile ground, wild prairies, choke cherries, Montana, sweetgrass hills standing tall, endless skies and waterfalls. Me, oh my, she's got it all. Montana, wash me in her waters, roll me on her plains, take me to the one I love. Montana is her name. Where neighbors greet you with a smile, a pretty picture every mile. I think I'm gonna stay a while. Montana. Wash me in her waters, roll me on her plains, take me to the one I love. Montana is her name. Where neighbors greet you with a smile, a pretty picture every mile. I think I'm gonna stay a while in Montana, Montana. It's not fair. I go to take a drink of water, it makes me laugh. We're gonna do a song that my dad and I co-wrote called When the Snow Flies. We've always loved the snow. It's one of my favorite things, just to look at the beautiful. It cleans everything up. It makes everything look beautiful. I have yet to find one thing that does not look good with snow on it. When the snow flies. Smell of old car hearts in the cold, stiff leatherwork gloves, cedar wood smoke, the feel of horsehair that's been sun-soaked by the Montana winter. Gates run smooth and silent with frost, Ice shatters in the steel stuck trough. Silhouetted horses greet me with the dawn, saddled with snow. When the snow flies, my spirits rise, dancing through the meadow, dry and light, and the blue sky brings tears to my eyes on a cold Montana morning. The sun just misses our cabin in the drawn threshold ice. Never gets to thaw. Drifts on the ranch road, getting mighty tall. Walking down the fences, roads get quiet, polishing the sounds. Patterns emerge on our frozen hay ground. A day to hold up, forget about town. Bake some cornbread. When the snow flies, my spirits rise. A skiff in the stubble, a dusting in the pines, and the blue light beckons the night on a cold Montana evening. He's a cowboy, rides alone. I don't like him getting too far from home. He says that old Santa Road would never let him get hurt. But it's 10 below, hoofs packed with snow. Makes it harder to dig in his toes. His hands can't help but getting froze, switching from pocket to pocket. But when the snow flies, his spirits rise. Horses wheel to see him as he rides in the moonlight. Cabins baked in white in the cold Montana winter. When the snow flies, my spirits rise. The light in the tie barn tells me he's alright, and his blue eyes, laughing and bright, warms my soul in the cold Montana winter. I'm going to do one more little set of tunes for you. Okay, this is his fault. I've been yodeling my entire life. Isn't that a tragedy? That's so sad. But I've been yodeling since I was 2, and I've had this one yodel that I've done my entire life that has just sort of changed throughout the years. Little bits have been added from different things. So I'm going to do that.
Into a monster.
I know. Prepare yourselves. If you fear yodels, leave the room. But this is the original yodel. And then I'm going to do a really neat, quirky fiddle tune called Takarari.
Give me your pitch.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh. Coming up your way. Bye. Just leave my stuff as decoration. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I told you so. that was really good. The next act coming up, you've already seen him tonight, and he's been also one of the MCs. But I met him last year and was looking forward to playing with him again this year because I'm pretty convinced there's not an instrument that he can't play. And so I think you'll see him playing a couple of them tonight. And we've had fun jamming. He's from right here in Idaho. Really amazing. Colt Angel.
Trying to swell my head up again. We all having a good time so far, folks?
Yeah!
All right. Well, that's what we're here to do. I thought I had my mind made up of what I was going to sing, but come to find out I never do, and I'd give up on it anymore. I get up there and think, well, let's just come what comes to mind. There's an old song some of you might remember. Not so much cowboy, but country. Living on the road, my friend, bound to make a free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, breath as hard as kerosene. Weren't your mama's only boy your favorite poem and sing? And you cry when she said goodbye. Sank into your dream. Pancho was a bandit boy, horse as fast as polished steel. Wore his gun outside his pants, where all the honest would feel. Pancho Menes met you know on a desert down in Mexico. They'll be heard his dying word. That's the way it goes. They all let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. After he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. That's a Poncho bit down south, ended up in Lefty's mouth. Anything they for Poncho, Lefty split for Idaho. Now he knows we got the bread to go. Now he's growing old. All the men around, they say, could have had him any day. They all let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Always tell how Poncho felt. Lefty's living in a cheap hotel. Desert's quiet, Cleveland's cold. So the story ends are told. Poncho needs your prayers, it's true. Save a few for Lefty too. They only did what they had to do. Now he's growing old. All the men around, they say, could have had him any day. They all let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Few brave men around, they say, could have had him any day. They all let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. This is a little song I wrote about my brother. I lost him back in 2005. And due to a sleep apnea deal, so if anybody's got that, they need to get that taken care of. It's a bad deal. This is a little song I wrote the day we buried him. I started the wrong one. I've done that before and get halfway through them, you know, and you're like, hope they're not listening as much as I'm listening. He was a man of sorrow and a man of guilt, but a man of integrity that his life flowed like silk. He was a genius in his own mind, so far in depth man could not understand. He had a heart as big as his body, one that would always lend a hand. Well, he'd give you the shirt off his back, even if it was the last one he had. 'Cause he'd rather see someone else go good than see himself go for bad. He had a look on life like no other. This man is who I call my brother. As we lower him into this hole, our heads bowed to pray, and we'll lay him down to rest on this cold November day. He
has lived through a lot. 1969 was the year he was born. Man landed on the moon, and that there was enough to blow your horn. He graduated high school, went to the Navy for a spell. Later on he went to Job Corps. He said now that there was 6 months of hell. He hated driving a car. He always had to have his truck. We said Clay, a car would run a lot cheaper. He said, never know if I gotta pick something up. Only brother I ever had, Lord gave me the very best one. He always give me a call on the phone. He says everything is something going on. He was a man of sorrow and a man of guilt, but a man of integrity. This life flowing like silk. He was a genius in his own mind, so far in depth man could not understand. He had a heart as big as his body, one that would always lend a hand. Well, he'd give you the shirt off his back, even if it was the last one he had. Cause he'd rather see someone else go good than see himself go for bad. He got a look on life like no other. This man is who I call my brother. As we lower a man to this hole, our heads bound to pray, and we'll lay him down to rest on this cold November day. Lily entices the song. If I could roll back the years when I was young and limber, loose as ashes in the wind, I had big irons in the fire. I could ride them wild young broncs as adrenaline came quickly and won't me to down the moments only heart's desire. Living for the moment, and the sunlight on my silver bit, and the ringing of my jingle bell was music to my soul. In the eye back of moments, I held on in the shadows. We held each other tight in the loving that we stole. In the sighing of the pines, up here near the timber lightning, I wish I'd done things different. I wish I don't make it so. And the time has passed so quick. Years all run together now. That a whole morning yesterday was 50 years ago. If I'd have quit them Broncos, she might have quit that business back in the fast day for the wire. Well, I bet she's still as pretty as she was yesterday. Juanita, now the moments is my only heart's desire. And the sighing of the pine up here near the timber line make me wish I'd done things different. Oh, I wish I don't make it so. And the time's passed so quick. Years all run together now. That a whole morning yesterday was 50 years ago. Got one more. I'm in the slow mood tonight. That's how you get on Saturday night this time of day. We've had a wonderful time here. What a great audience. Let's give you all a big hand. Little Daryl Scott song here. In the deep dark hills of eastern Kentucky, that's the place where I trace my bloodline. It was there I read on a hillside gravestone, you'll never leave Harlan alive. Oh, my granddad's dad walked down Catherine Mountain, and he asked till he heaven to be his bride. Won't you walk with me out of the mouth of this holler? He said you'll never leave Harlan alive. And the sun comes up about 10 in the morning, and the sun goes down about 3 in the day, and you feel your cup. Give a bitter brew you're drinking, and you spend your life just thinking on how to get away. No one ever knew it was cold in them mountains, till a man from the northeast arrived, waving $100 bills. He said, I'll pay you for your minerals, but he never left Harlan alive. Granny sold out cheap, moved west of Pineville to a farm where that big Richland River winds. Yes, they danced a little jig, and they laughed and played a new song, but they never left Harlan alive. Times got tough, tobacco wasn't selling, but old Granddad knew what he had to do to survive. Whipping up her hard hole, sent the money back to Granny, but he never left Harlan alive. The sun comes up about 10 in the morning, and the sun goes down about 3 in the day, and you feel your cup. If a bitter brew you're drinking, and you spend your life living cold from the bottom of your grave. In the deep dark hills of eastern Kentucky, that's the place where I trace my bloodline. It was there I read on a hillside gravestone, you'll never leave Harlan alive. Thank you, folks. Thank you. And once again, let's thank our sponsors, folks. I didn't know Kristen read them all off, but it was the Granby. Is it Granby? Granbia, sorry. It's not milk, it's cheese. I got that straightened out earlier. And there's the Four Brothers Dairy. I should have brought the cheese with me. What is it? KMVT, the TV station, right? Thank you so much. That's great. This stuff wouldn't happen without all this stuff. I'm not as smart as I look, folks, so. That's what Kristen said. I was like, well, you sure look nice tonight. She's like, yeah, you look pretty smart too. Really? She's like, that's an old-time way for saying you look good. Well, I didn't know. I guess they do things different down in Texas.
Anyways, folks, this next performer coming up, I'll tell you what, I've known her for a year now, and she's phenomenal. She's very, very good for 21 years old. You know, you have to really admire that. Being a musician for as long as I have been doing this, and I'm still in Idaho, really. She's really going great places, multiple award-winning stuff. She plays more chords than there is. She does that. It's just all over the guitar. It's just, I told her, I said, it's just not logical for somebody to play that many chords on the guitar. But it sounds good. However she does a great job. Hey, let's make a big, warm welcome for Kristen Harris, all the way from McKinney, Texas.
Well, you may be in the slow song mood tonight, but I'm not. I asked him to join me on this first song.
This means double knot my shoes and hold on.
Something like that. You remember it?
Okay, fine, yeah. I think so.
He's the one who's gonna tune your mandolin for you.
I bought this guitar in tune.
You should get your money back.
I don't know how to... You can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish, right?
On my pony and I'll ride away down the trail to San Antone. I can see him standing waiting by that old range gate. He waits for me alone. Through the hills and all the plains I'll ride, ride, ride. I won't stop until I'm standing by his side. Roll on little pony, let that old wind mow. I'm headed back to San Antonio. Trail to San Antone. Just received a letter from my man in San Antone asking me to be his bride. I know he really loves me and his heart is true, so I guess I better take a ride. So I'll hop up on my pony and I'll ride away down the trail to San Antone. I can see him standing waiting by that old range gate. He waits for me alone. All through the hills and all the plains I'll ride, ride, ride. I won't stop until I'm standing by his side. Roll on little pony, let that old wind mow. I'm headed back to San Antonio, down the trail to San Antone. A pony and I'll ride away down the trail to San Antone. I can see him standing waiting by the old range gate. He waits for me alone. Through the hills and all the plains I'll ride, ride, ride. I won't stop until I'm standing by his side. Roll on little pony, let that old wind mow. I'm headed back to San Antonio, down guitar and the monitor. Yeah, alright, thank you. This next song is one I wrote actually inspired by being in Idaho and driving out with a trailer full of tacked up horses and crossed some roads that might not always be considered roads almost. And anyway, this is called Diesel and Dust. I've got 4 wheels of happiness to cure the common blues. The door's been bashed in by the bull, but it's still running smooth. We won't need the radio, 'cause we can sing out loud. Come on and take a break, come take a ride. Let's take it now. Just some diesel and dust. If it could, this truck would cuss. 'Cause though it's just a bunch of rust, I'd love a ride like this with you. Just some diesel and dust for us will do. America, I'll sing along to country roads. There's something in the souls of us John Denver must have known. I don't care where the sidewalk ends or if this rig's in style. Let's find some sagebrush and a road with potholes by the mile and some diesel and dust. It's country road or bust, 'cause in this pile of rust I'd love a ride like this with you. Just some diesel and dust for us will do. 'Cause the sky ain't got a cloud to show and I've rolled the windows down. The sunshine on our faces ain't gonna stay around forever. So cut your tether for today. You need some diesel and dust. We'll live behind the fuss, 'cause in this pile of rust I'd love a ride like this with you. And in the floorboard spurs will clink with coffee mugs left from last week and rolling round with probably something on your boots that kinda stinks. And that diesel and dust in my favorite piece of rust, 'cause the thing that makes it just right is riding here with you. Just some diesel and dust for us will do. So I'll let off the clutch, let's cure the common blues. Thank you. Well, part of what got me into playing music and this cowboy stuff was I love horses, and they've inspired quite a few of the songs I've written, so I'd like to do one of those for you. But not right now. This is a new one I learned recently. Well, it's an old one that I learned recently. Ready? Sprinkle me with desert stardust and let me lie neath that old Nevada moon. Let me dream away again as time passes by and the coyotes howl a tune. Let me see the rock and cactus. Let me feel the desert breeze. Let me ride on a horse on familiar trails. Rest in the shade of the Joshua trees. I'm going back home where I see the hills kiss the sky and the sun's a bright balloon. Sprinkle me with desert stardust and let me lie neath that old Nevada moon. I hope that old Nevada moon keeps shining till I get home again. Clouds don't have to have a silver lining out there where men are men. Trouble's just a bubble everywhere you go. Out here where the cactus and the let me dream away again as time passes by and the coyotes howl a tune. Let me see the rock and cactus, let me feel the desert breeze, let me ride on a horse on familiar trails, rest in the shade of the Joshua trees. I'm going back home where I see the hills kiss the sky and the sun's a bright balloon. Sprinkle me with desert stardust and let me light. Ain't that old Nevada moon? Gonna lay neath that old Nevada moon. Now I'll do you a horse song. This one I like to sing for my very first horse. He lived to be 28 years old. While other girls stared out the window and dreamed, you helped make mine come true. We climbed over mountains, followed the rivers, nothing we couldn't do. Seems like yesterday we rode the big circles, and I thought it never would end. So it doesn't seem fair that I've gotten stronger while time is no longer your friend. And I must have a guardian angel watching whatever I do. I'd loan you my angel, but then again maybe my guardian angel was you. You carried the brand of a pretty good ranch, but mostly you carried me. And I hope that I've been 1/10 of the friend that you turned out to be. Well, I know it seems selfish, still I can't help it. I don't want you to go, though we'll meet again at the end of my trail when my angel carries me home. And I must have a guardian angel watching whatever I do. I'd loan you my angel, but then again maybe my guardian angel was you. Yes, I'd loan you my angel, but then again maybe my guardian angel was you. I've had a few requests for this next one, and if any of y'all are asleep yet, this should wake you up. So feel free to sing along, because it's one y'all will recognize. I was toting my pack along a dusty Winnemucca road when along came a semi with a high canvas covered load. And he said, if you're going to Winnemucca with me, you can ride. So I climbed up in the cab and I settled down inside. He asked me, have you seen a road with so much dust and sand? And I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man, I've been everywhere, man. Crossed the deserts bare. fair, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. Traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Manila, Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tuckabill, Barranquilla, Empedal, I'm killer. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts, fair, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. Traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been in Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, Kingston, Texarkana, Monterey, Faraday, Santa Fe, Tallahassee, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Oskaloosa, Hennessy, Tennessee, Chicopee, Sparrow Lake, Grand Lake, Devil's Lake, Crater Lake, Pete's Lake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts, fair, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. Traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Greenville, Gatesville, Gainesville, Medicroville, Killerville, Bastrop, Bentonville, Somerville, Smithville, Stephenville, Fairview, Lugamont, Longview, Plainview, Adelaide, Justin, Junction, Paramount, Pasadena, and London, and London, see what I mean. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the desert, fair, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. Traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. This is a sing-along verse. I've been to Development, Pamela's, Dallas-Ville, New Hope, New York, Rockford, Rock Rivers, Bravo, Cleveland, you cut you Cowboy, Baby, Base, I made a busy falls, I should have been you run pretty out and everywhere, man. I'm everywhere, man. Cross the desert, fair, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share. I've been everywhere. I do have that on a CD back there. Well, this next song, I promise you really can sing along to. And this will be my final song, and then we'll get everybody up here. But thanks again to Payson and Claudia and everybody who's put this on, and all the sponsors. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. All the performers, if y'all can all get up on stage, we're supposed to do a final song together.
Kristen Harris, folks. Let's give her another big hand. We also need to remember that we got Cowboy Church tomorrow, everybody. Cowboy Church. I think right here, right? Cowboy Church? Yes. So Everybody show up. Did y'all have a good time? Did you have a good time? How about you, Stan? Good.
There's also a jam after this over at Claudia's Antique Store with food and everything. So y'all feel free to wander over there after this. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride your trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Trails to you till we meet again. Smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Trails to you until we meet again.
Thank you once again, folks. Thank you once again. We can bring on the house lights. Great. I know the power ain't out because these things are still going. That concludes our show for the evening, folks. Everybody be at Cowboy Church tomorrow. We'd like to see all these smiling faces there at Cowboy Church tomorrow at 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock?